I'm a Ph.D. on welfare. Here I am, 48 years old, with an incredible resume of work, published author, multi-degree, litany of experience. You understand? I'm on welfare. Picking up my WIC coupons, picking up my items, and then going to teach. There's something wrong with that. And the real tragic part of it is, when I graduated years ago with my bachelor's degree, I wasn't on welfare then. I've never in my entire life, other than when I was a child in Detroit, Michigan, and my mother, who did not graduate from high school, and my father, who lost some fingers in the auto plant and became disabled, was I ever on welfare. It was only as a child. That pay, the way these universities pick to pay you, is so painful.
It certainly isn't ideal, and having a part-time job here and a part-time job at another college does not equal a full-time job. The time we spend outside of class preparing material, evaluating, grading, we aren't compensated for that time. Overall, the nature of adjunct faculty is very close to that of a fast food worker in terms of compensation for time spent.
There are indeed part-time faculty who are, should be compensated and need the compensation in order. It's part of their livelihood, the compensation for their part-time teaching, and that is definitely true. There are also, I wouldn't say that there is also a motivation for, I think, all faculty at DePaul that they love teaching. And I think it's a field that you get into because your primary interest is that it is challenging and exciting and rewarding to engage with our students and share the expertise and passion and love that you have for your discipline with others.
Being an adjunct limits the access that the students have to to work and to understanding and to mentoring outside of the classroom. It limits the time that we are involved in the environment. We're limited in our ability to affect program curriculum.
Because we're not a part of it. You understand? We're around it, but we're not of it. Even the graduation, like many of my students was like, oh, they wrote me. It's like, you didn't come to the graduation. I said, honey, I didn't, I knew, but I didn't know. And then it was in conflict with the class I was teaching. So, all of that preparation for students I love, that I've put time in with, that care about their professor, and we've grown together. That was taken from me, and that's always taken from the adjunct, because you're not a part of the school.
There seems to be a turnover. I don't know the reason for that, but I do see a pretty significant turnover in adjunct, and it makes me wonder.
Yes, there is some turnover, and there will be more, a faster rate of turnover for the part-time faculty than for the full-time faculty by definition. So indeed, we strategies to make sure that the students aren't adversely impacted by that rate of change is important.
I had a lot of adjunct professors in my undergrad, and some of them were some of the best teachers I had. They can bring more real-world experience, but I think sometimes they don't always get the academic side or the teaching part of it as right.
I think it's kind of difficult just because they have so much more to focus on. I mean, being a professor in general, you have a lot to focus on, but being a professor at two different schools, different curriculums, I only could imagine how difficult that could be.
It is way too much. There's a way for the universities to make a good profit and also have some of the beautification and get these great athletes and all the stuff that they want without exploiting professionals, without disrespecting and deleting the nobility from education.
There are adjunct faculty at this school and others with master's and Ph.D. Degrees that hardly make enough to live on. They are on food stamps, they are on public assistance and public aid, Medicaid, in order to raise a family, in order to provide for their basic needs. It doesn't measure up.
They need to put something in place where you offer a living wage. Now, it can be the lower end of what the difference between being faculty and being an adjunct, but I don't think the term adjunct should be equated to poverty.